Everyone, it's Monday, Molly Mondays. I know it's a bit poor show from me because the last couple of Mondays I've not done a video. There's been all sorts going on, one of which moving out, which I will talk about in a I'm in my bedroom, which isn't where I normally would film, but I suppose you could say I'm making the most of it before I move out and these four walls that I've been living in for a very, very long time, but literally like hibernating in these four walls the past year because of lockdown. And I didn't completely hate it. Is that weird? No, don't get me wrong. Of course, coronavirus has been pretty awful. When I say I didn't completely hate it, I'm talking about these being shoved into lockdown and isolation throughout the past year has all it's done is really reminded me of some very familiar feelings and experiences that I had back in the day when I was first diagnosed with Usher syndrome. I kind of fell into this denial and depression, like deep depression. I was out of school for a year, and I stayed in these four walls as much as possible, and I was sleeping a lot. And if it wasn't for my parents, I probably would still be in bed now. So it just reminded me of those dark times. Now, it's not to say that I was as depressed as that. No way, touch wood. I've not been back there for a very long time. But being told that you're not allowed to go anywhere and you have to stay in and, for the safety of everybody, including yourselves, that wasn't hard for me to do. It was actually really easy, and I felt like I dealt with it really well in comparison to some, like my sister, who's used to being out all the time. Obviously, she drives and very independent, and I don't begrudge her for that. It's just for me, it was like, this is quite easy. I've been there, done that. But the boredom, of course, was pretty tedious. Working from home was pretty tedious. I feel that I was very lucky because our office block was still able to be open. I actually had a place to go to. So, albeit lockdown was really tough on my mental health because it kind of reminded me of these feelings of isolation and depression, having that place to go to work and actually be productive literally made life so much more bearable. And I'm very, very lucky, very, very fortunate, because I know lots of people have really struggled. Back to the topic of the video. The rules are easing. We can go places, we can sit in a garden and we can have a drink, or we can eat lunch and do all those sociable things that some of us might have forgotten how to do. Personally, I have felt I've had to ease myself and really prepare for that, because whilst lockdown has been difficult, but I've kind of had ways of coping and have coped with work and keeping myself occupied. I have also had to kind of mentally prepare to get back out there with lots of people, and I think that's been my main thing. It's not necessarily going back out; it's actually being in an environment where there's lots of people around me. I can't necessarily see them; I might be able to hear them with my hearing aids, and that often gives me anxiety itself, like hearing things and not being able to see them, and I feel a bit claustrophobic and dizzy, and I can get quite stressed. And this was something I would I would have to deal with, like in department stores when going shopping. Like, it's so big, and I could always hear these things happening around me, but only having 5 degrees vision, I'd be scanning around and I'd just get really stressed and dizzy and really anxious, and I would have to leave and sit and go home, which is weird because I was always, partial to a bit of shopping and spending all my money. So I sort of have been creating my own little roadmap in terms of how to deal with the anxiety of going back out there and being around people. So last weekend, was it last weekend or the weekend before? I can't remember, when we were allowed to have people in the garden for the first time in a very long time. I had one of my best friends come round to my garden and we had a few drinks, and obviously she's one of my best friends, so I was very much familiar with her. I was quite very much excited to have her around, and we had drinks, we played games, and it was a really nice time. And then the weekend just gone, I saw another friend, but this time in an area that I wasn't very familiar with. Went to their garden. I arranged things like I always would. Is it light? Do I feel comfortable asking this person for help? Of course I do, because it's my friend. But I wanted to get used to going to a new area. And I think that's really helped me kind of get myself back out there, kind of stepping stones to actually going out to a garden or a pub or a restaurant or whatever that I haven't been to for a while, that might have changed, they might have, moved things around, that noisiness, kind of getting used to those environments again, rather than, this mollycoddled atmosphere, mollycoddled like what I did there. So one of the other things that I have done, that I did when the roadmap was announced, was I booked my hair, my nails, and my eyebrows in. I've always gone to the same girls for these things, so I know these girls because I rely on them to keep me looking nice. Got to make sure all these unruly hairs are gone, my eyebrows look okay, and my hair looks alright. Part of just being a vain 26-year-old, I suppose. But the fact that I booked these in, they have to happen. I'm not going to cancel. These girls need to get paid. That's going to happen. I'm going to Vanessa's place to get my nails done. That's another place I haven't been to for a while. Alison actually comes to me, but still it's been around another person that I haven't been around for a long, long time, who I feel comfortable with. But again, it's just getting myself in, easing myself into these. And then last night I actually messaged another friend, two friends, and asking them to make plans. So I'm getting used to making plans again. This is something I haven't done for a long time. And when I say make plans for transport as well, there and back, where we're going to be, will it be light, will it be dark, what I'm going to be eating, what I'm going to be drinking, all of the rest of that. Hi Denzi, you come to join. So yeah, making plans, really, really good thing to do. I recommend you all do that. It's so easy, of course, I know, to make plans and cancel on them. I have been that person on many occasions. I kind of get myself in a state and I'm just like, no, I'd just rather not. But I'm really, really working hard not to do that, because I need to be out there with my friends. I need to get used to, being out and about again. So then eventually when I can start traveling again for work, this won't be as big of a step. Because honestly, right now, the thought of going back on a train, my chest goes tight. Like I just, no, I'm not there yet. But we've got to see this as a positive step. Going back out and seeing friends that we haven't seen for a long time. Might not be able to get close enough to give them a cuddle yet, but it's a step. It's a big step, and I'm happy about it. I do feel really good about it, and I'm just hoping that things will just get better and better and better and better. My experience would be very similar to everyone else's. We're all pretty much in the same boat, and whether or not you've had mental health issues or not prior, these feelings of anxiety might actually feel quite familiar to you now because of the experiences that we've had in isolation and stuff. It's not to say I'm diagnosing you with anxiety. You cannot have anxiety and still have anxious feelings. But all of these things where I'm talking about, making plans and easing yourself back out there, I would recommend anyone to do, because no one, we've got to get used to kind of being out and about again, socializing and meeting new people, and obviously doing all of that safely, so that we can, as a nation, kind of get back to some kind of normality. I appreciate it's probably never going to be the same again. Masks and that will probably be around for a long time, and I, for one, am fine with this. I actually feel odd not wearing a mask now. I'm used to that. Of course, communication barriers are there, but there were communication barriers before. So although that is a bit of a pain, I feel like where health and safety is concerned, it's out of the question. Like, just do it. Um, so yeah, so let me know like how you're feeling about it. I'm always here if you want to talk about it, and yeah, let's hope. Let's hope that we can all just enjoy it. You know, one I really like for the weather to be nice, so we can actually enjoy being outside without freezing our boobs off. um, but you know, can't ask for too much at this stage. At this point, I'm grateful. Let's just see how things go, step by step, baby steps, and that it's okay. No one's rushing you. Take it in your own pace.